Day 1125 of the Trump administration, which leaves 259 days until the 2020 presidential election. Exactly 4 days until the Nevada caucuses. There is breaking news tonight, as you just heard, from the embattled U.S. Department of Justice. The Washington Post is on the board with the story, reporting that the Attorney General is considering leaving, quote, Barr has told people close to President Trump, both inside and outside the White House, that he is considering quitting over Trump's tweets about Justice Department investigations. One of the reporters who broke this story will join us to talk about it in just a moment. Tonight, the DOJ says Barr has no plans to resign, and just this afternoon, the president was asked about Barr's complaints.
He said that your comments on Twitter are making it impossible to do his job. Are you making his job impossible?
Yeah, I do make his job harder. I do agree with that.
Even so, Trump is making it clear he's not standing down amid the controversy over his involvement in federal law enforcement. Today, in fact, after he again tweeted about a sitting federal judge, the president handed himself a job description usually reserved for the attorney general.
I'm allowed to be totally involved. I'm actually, I guess, the chief law enforcement officer of the country.
That declaration comes just ahead of a host of pardons and commutations we learned about, wiping away the crimes of some once powerful public figures. Trump commuted the sentence of former Illinois Democratic Governor Rod Blagojevich, a one-time contestant on Celebrity Apprentice. He served 8 years of a 14-year sentence after being convicted of corruption for straight up trying to sell the U.S. Senate seat from Illinois vacated by Barack Obama. Part of that effort was captured by FBI wiretaps.
I've got this thing, and it's golden, and I'm just not giving it up for nothing.
Trump pardoned former New York City Police Commissioner Bernie Kerik, a close associate of his friend Rudy Giuliani. Kerik had pleaded guilty to 8 felony charges, including tax fraud and lying to White House officials. And the man once known as the junk bond king, Wall Street financier Michael Milken, has also been pardoned. He'd pleaded guilty in 1990 to securities fraud and conspiracy. Today, Trump explained the reasons for these decisions.
Rod Blagojevich, he served 8 years in jail. It's a long time. Bernie Kerik, a man who's had many recommendations from a lot of good people. We have Mike Milken, who's gone around and done an incredible job for the world with all of his research on cancer, and he's done this, and he suffered greatly. He paid a big price, paid a very tough price.
Trump also pardoned David Safavian, convicted in the Jack Abramoff scandal, and Edward DeBartolo, who covered up corruption involving the former governor of Louisiana, Edwin Edwards. Trump's acts of clemency are now raising the possibility once again that he'll do the same for Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, or Michael Flynn. Today, the president was asked about his intentions regarding Mr. Stone.
Are you planning to pardon Roger Stone?
I haven't given it any thought. In the meantime, he's going through a process.
New York Times has this on this topic, quote, in conversations with advisors, Mr. Trump has raised the prospect of commuting the sentence of Roger Stone. And some Democrats say they can see how this plays out.
He's trying to create a lot of noise. He's doing a lot of pardons and clemencies. And when he said, oh, I haven't even thought about Roger Stone, that's laughable.
And more about that sitting federal judge. Trump is continuing to criticize Judge Amy Berman Jackson, who is overseeing the Stone case, despite Bill Barr's plea that he refrained from commenting about ongoing Justice Department matters. This morning, the president sent out this message, quoting comments from Fox News legal analyst Andrew Napolitano, as one does. Quote, Judge Jackson now has a request for a new trial based on the unambiguous and self-outed bias of the foreperson of the jury. Pretty obvious he should get a new trial. Judge Jackson today refused to delay Stone's sentencing on felony charges. That will still take place on Thursday. Last week, Barr backed up the Justice Department's handling of Roger Stone's trial.
I thought that was a righteous prosecution. And I was happy that he was convicted.
And on the 2020 campaign front, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg will make his onstage debut, as one does, in Vegas. Bloomberg qualified for tomorrow's debate just today after a new poll showed a 15-point surge on his part, putting him nationally now at 19%. As you see, that puts him behind Sanders and in front of Biden et al. So far, he's put about $400 million of his own money into this presidential campaign. That is a notable record for traditional media spending. And as they say, there's more where that came from.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.